And then I'm going.
It's you sleeping.
Did you adjust yours? Like, did you fine tune yours?
Yeah. But I mean, I did that.
Like after you had trends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got it dialed in now. It's just too many years of usage at this point.
Dude, I've been doing, I told you, I did stretches in the morning. Now I'm doing now I finish it off.
You finish at the end of your stretch?
Yeah, just crank out all over the floor. No, I do. I've been doing finishing it off with a 1 minute horse stance. You know what the horse stance is?
I don't even know where to go with that. I don't even have a good joke. I'm so confused.
It's like an isometric.
I mean, I know how horses stand. I can't imagine that's anything that a human does.
No, it's kind of like mimicking what you would look like if you were riding a horse. It's an isometric hold, and you get down in a squat position. Dude, it burns. It burns. It's good. Wake your ass up real quick, man.
I don't know what to tell you, man. What do you do? So you're like pretending that you're skiing, basically?
No, I told you I'm optimizing, man. Look it up. Just Google horse stance.
I don't think I should type that stuff. Should I use a private browser?
Horse stance squat. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's a nice isometric hold. I'm trying to get to two.
I watched this once in a video. A guy put a jar in himself and then it broke.
Wait, but he sat down onto it, right? And lifted it up.
Yeah. And then he was just shoveling out blood and broken glass.
Trying to get to 2 minutes. It's going to be tough. I start quivering and shaking. It's very difficult. You should try.
I quiver and shake at the end of 2 minutes too.
You get
I'm just kidding. I don't get to 2.
What's going on? Were we hot?
I think we've been live for way too long.
I'm kidding. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Stokastic.com NBA strategy show presented by PrizePicks. I'm Dave Loughran at Lafayette_D on Twitter, joined by Joshua Engleman at Josh Engleman on the Twitter himself. How you feeling? I feel pretty good today. You know, how you doing?
All those horse squats.
Horse stance, yes. Yeah. Isometric hold. I told you. Get with it, man.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like a dude getting ready to take a giant dump. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's tough. It's tough. How you doing?
I'm good. A little tired from late night basketball. Had to be up late for Warriors and Lakers, but we're here now, back for 2 more games. At least we get to watch Phoenix and Denver put on an offensive exhibition tonight. That'll be fun.
I think Denver can rout them here.
Well, if that's the case, that would be good, because apparently I have a shit ton of Denver in my first run.
Yeah, Jokic,
that should go well.
Jokic pulling a modest amount of ownership today, 40%, 60%
big price tag too.
But he's 50% optimal, so that's not surprising. You know, how often do you see a guy at 11,200 on a 2-game slate with an 11% leverage score? We haven't seen that in the postseason much at all. This might be the first time, actually, this postseason.
That's a big one. We'll see what that ends up looking like by the time we get to the lock, because this is a different build of a slate than we've had in a while.
I get done my show yesterday, the deeper dive, and Jordan's downstairs crying. And I'm like, she just turned 2 in March. I'm like, why are you crying? She's like, want to play baseball. It's like, okay. I haven't done everything wrong. Got her this T-ball set, Josh. Go outside.
You mean softball?
T-ball set. Out there ripping balls off the tee. It's good stuff, man. Makes me proud to see that she's into that type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's good. It's good stuff.
I'll throw a baseball further than her, too.
I don't know. I feel like you would go to throw it.
Is Jordan just hitting bombs
I feel
off the tee?
Yeah, just go behind you. But yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. I don't want her to be like some big jacked home run hitter.
No?
I prefer that not be the case.
Just singles and doubles.
Like
station to station. Yeah.
Horse stances every day, massive quads, you know. Nah. I mean, hey, go for it. But yeah, I'm like
plenty of good careers in softball.
More of a slap hitter, you know.
What does the professional softball league pay?
Do you have to pay them? Is there a
Probably.
membership fee?
I can't imagine it exists. Does it exist? Is there a professional
There
softball?
must be, right?
We have projections for that?
After college and stuff.
I've never heard of it. I couldn't tell you a city that it's in, and this isn't even like a bit now.
I've actually watched some of the big softball college games. They're kind of fun. They're actually pretty enjoyable.
It was only ever interesting when Jenny Finch was pitching. Let's be perfectly clear here.
I don't even know who that is.
Just search for her, and then when you see her, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I would watch her pitch if I could."
Oh,
Jenny Finch.
You'll
know who she. You should know who she is.
What's her name?
Jenny Finch.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's the response. Did you search for her when she was at Arizona? Maybe it's been 20 years now at this point in time.
Was she good?
Yeah. For softball.
I never understand with that throwing motion how they do it. I'm being dead serious. Like, it seems so difficult.
But yeah, it's got to be really easy though, right?
No way, man. No way. I'm not giving in to you here. I know you're just trying to rile it.
But that's a serious statement though. It's got to be easy.
I don't think so. I would think that throwing overhand, where you have a clear line of vision with where the ball's leaving your hand and where your eyes are, would be a lot easier to throw more accurately than underhand, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Accurately. Yeah, I'm sure we're more accurate with whatever we do.
You're just digging, man. You're just trying.
Yeah, but look, we got to be honest in these situations. It's obviously easier to throw it underhand.
I think it's easier in the sense that do they have types of pitches?
Yeah.
Like, are they throwing curveballs?
Yeah, risers and sinkers. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Curveballs?
Screwballs.
Sliders?
Yeah.
Oh,
truth. I don't think there's like a fan graphs for this kind of stuff. Because who would read it?
Then why would it be easier?
What do you mean? Why would it be easier?
I'm asking, why would it be easier?
Because anybody can throw underhand.
Not like that. There's
a reason that they're able to pitch every single day for like 30 years.
Easier on the body.
Sure. Oh, it's unequivocally easier on the body.
I don't know, man. I think if you gave me an opportunity to learn how to throw pitch underhand the way they
bet you would be the greatest softball pitcher in the history of softball if you tried to learn how to throw underhand, but you would not make a little league team right now if you tried to throw overhand.
I can't. It's funny because I can't believe you're forcing me to take this side, which is earth shattering. I can't believe you're forcing me to take this side. I'm not so sure. What does chat think? Has chat chimed in on this yet? Let me pull this up.
Not really.
No?
I think they're mostly with me.
Well, I guess it's time to move on.
I think they just all are like, yeah, it's way easier. There we go. The arm is built better for underhand. Yeah. We're all in agreement here.
All right.
Seriously, is there professional softball? I typed professional softball and the first thing was men's.
Norm Macdonald had an amazing. Remember Norm Macdonald had the sports show?
Yes.
Where he just ripped on Google. He'd be like, WNBA leading scorer, and only NBA would come up. And he'd do the Google. And then the next day they changed everything to make it work. But let's see. Is there?
I think there's 4 teams.
Women's professional fast pitch, the WPF,
the Smash It Sports Vipers, the Oklahoma City Spark, the Texas Smoke, and the USSSA Pride, which doesn't feel like they should be a red, white, and blue team.
Take a guess what an average salary is across a season.
What's minimum wage?
I really want you to take a guess.
Right, and I want you to add, does anybody know what minimum wage is? Is that not 10.50, 8.50?
I don't know.
I bet they make it's probably like servers. They probably get like $2 plus tips.
It's
I assume somebody goes out and passes the Folgers can in between innings, try to rustle up a couple extra shekels.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
6,200.
$6,200?
Wait, you think that's a lot?
They make the salary, the average salary is $6,200
per season.
So minimum wage. I wasn't even wrong.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that's less.
It's probably, like I said, $2 plus tips.
Jeez, that's rough, man. So basically, it's just a fun hobby that you're good at.
I bet those people are going to, whoever's in this league are going to be picketing next to McDonald's workers trying to get 15 an hour.
What are the roller derby salaries?
Way more. No doubt in my mind there.
Me neither. I can't tell though. Right. Yeah, like 27,000 baseline.
Yeah. $6,200 after taxes. We're talking like 4 and change.
Yeah, yeah. And they pay for travel.
Oh yeah, they got to stay at like a Motel 6 or something when they're on the road.
Back of a Spirit.
Sleep in their car.
Back of a Spirit. Back of a Spirit Air.
Yeah, it's not great.
Happy to have you guys with us as always. Hit that thumbs up if you, clearly you've done that already. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you're listening after the fact. And hey, if you're listening in podcast form, leave a review, a rating, all that stuff. Put up notifications, whatever it is. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about the show. I mean, how could you not tell them about this? You'd be crazy not to tell them about this show.
Sign up for the softball lineup generator, which costs 10% of a softball player's salary.
That would. All right, I'm gonna move on. I gotta steer this ship.
Oh, we hit that iceberg 10 minutes ago.
We got to get out of the chop here. Yeah. Man, I was the other day just watching Wild Bill get hit by a rogue wave. Ooh, Wild Bill.
Hitchcock?
No, Wachowski or something.
That doesn't sound like a guy that would be on a wave.
Hit by a rogue bullet in the back of the head.
Yeah. But if you were on a surfboard, whew.
I'm going to Virginia Beach in August with the family, like everyone's going. And I'm going to grab a skimboard, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think that sounds like fun? I mean,
no.
I'm getting a little, really?
No. If I thought that was fun, I'd do it all the time.
I forgot you don't have fun with anything. You're a recluse.
I don't want to skimboard. I'm 38 years old.
Why not? Don't you
want to hurt? It's not going to go well.
Don't you want to prove to yourself that you still got something left in the tank, man?
No, man, my tank's been empty for a decade. What are you talking about?
Let's talk some basketball here. I'm going to take some videos. We'll take some videos of that.
Yes. Please take as many videos as you can of you skimboarding, and please post them.
You think I'm just going to eat shit?
Yes, you're going to eat. You're going to eat piles of shit.
It's
not even just going to be one meal. You're going to have seconds and thirds.
I don't think so. I'm still very good at snowboarding, and while it's different, the balancing factor comes into play pretty heavily. I think the dropping the board motion, once I'm on, I think I'll be fine. But I still snowboard frequently. Very, very good.
This snow is melted, so it's going to be a very different mechanism.
This is a little different. But I'm saying from a balance aspect.
Wrong kind of water.
Balance aspect, I'm good. I just know my shins are going to be beat to shit after all that. That's what's going to hurt.
Stephen Leibowitz says, come on, Josh, you're LeBron's age. Yeah, but imagine if LeBron James spent $0 on his body instead of $1 million.
Yeah. No, you have a trainer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that LeBron doesn't eat. The trainer's been gone for a month.
Oh, you're not doing the trainer anymore?
No time.
So you're just slovenly.
A little bit.
What?
Yeah, a little bit. I got into donuts lately. I did, man. Them cinnamon and sugars, apple fritters. I've really been working my way through just about every donut that exists.
I had a cheese Danish last night. It was phenomenal. I haven't had one of those in a very long time. Those cream cheese Danishes.
Yeah, now you lost me.
They'll give you some action in your trousers real fast, man. Let me tell you.
Cinnamon sugar donut, glazed donut. I've been working my way through some Oreos lately.
Give me a BC donut. Yeah, you were eating Oreos before the strategy show the other day at like 9:40.
Yeah, well, they go good with coffee. Give you a BC donut, like BC, like a headache powder.
Yeah, Boston cream, brother.
Oh, we're abbreviating those now. That's so hard to say.
Yeah, man, the old BCD.
You like a little BC in the morning, a little Boston cream.
Yeah. Philadelphia 76ers, 7.5.
What's a Philadelphia donut? Would there be like cheesesteak in it filled with whiz?
I don't know. Well, Philadelphia cream cheese. So you could definitely do something with that.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, there definitely is. And it'd probably be delicious too.
Yeah, you can probably get there, right?
You could get there for sure. Yeah.
We need to make the Philly cream.
That's crazy that there isn't any of that yet.
Yeah, maybe that's what we need to do. We need to regionalize a Philadelphia donut.
Yeah, I'm sure it's never been thought of before.
I mean, we know that the people of Philadelphia would eat the shit out of it if it were good.
Right. Oh yeah, and you just call it a Philadelphia donut or something. A Philly donut. You get that going. That would work.
I think you got to put whiz in it. I think that's the play.
No, disgusting. No, you can't do that.
You don't take like a Krispy Kreme and pump it with nacho cheese.
Little chip steak. Philadelphia 76ers, 7.5 point dogs. Looking at this game, I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Do you get Harden game 1 and 4? Do you get Harden game 2 and 3? If you get Harden game 2 and 3, it's over from the jump. But just looking at this, they're 7.5 point favorite dogs. They probably should be. Both of the games they lost, Boston handled them. The 2 games they won literally came down to the wire. So just looking at this, pulling prices up in the boom bust tool, looking at ownership, optimal scores, all of that good stuff. Kind of fun to talk about when you've got somebody like James Harden, because if James Harden, like he's the X factor so often now in this series, if he has that massive game, he had 78 last game, 78. Insane. And I know it was overtime, but even if it wasn't, just a huge performance from Harden. He was 16 for 23 from the field.
It's insanity. It's truly insanity.
And he dropped 45 actual points in game 1. The peripherals weren't there, but 45 actual points. And then games 2 and 3 was just utter dog shit. So we got to start with Harden. We'll get to Embiid. We'll get to Maxey, who's really had a rough series. No one's talking about that, but he's had a tough time. We'll start with James Harden. I really want to know what you're doing with this guy today.
So right now I'm mostly neutral. He came out of my sim 22% of the time. He's owned 23% of the time. I got him in 27% of lineups. I gave him 40 minutes. He's 8,800. I think he looks totally fine. Like I don't really have much of a take. From a narrative perspective, I am not a believer in James Harden today. Philly picked up game 4. We're heading to Boston now. This feels like a spot where they right the ship and we don't get the best James Harden day in the world. I don't project my shit like that. That's just in my mind. That's how I see it playing out. That plays no role in the way that I want to handle DFS. I think he's properly owned at 23%. I don't really have too much else to add for him at that point, just because he's sort of on an island. He's $800 cheaper than Jason Tatum. He's $700 more expensive than Jamal Murray. I think both guys are probably better options than him. So he sort of gets lost in the shuffle. If you wanted to take a stand on Harden today, I don't really have much of an issue with it. I think he's just sort of properly owned at 23%.
By the way, shout out to Steven. Great call. A Philly cheesecake donut. Oh my God, that would be good.
Philly cheesecake donut. Yeah.
So, I mean, it'd be a play off of the Philly cream cheese, but that would be good.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, there's something there.
There's definitely something there.
Do you want to open a donut shop? Is that what we're talking about right now? Is that the pivot after this is all over? We open a one specific style donut shop.
Problem is you would just have it like loaded with sexual innuendos, and we'd only get the bottom of the bottom feeders coming in there.
I mean, I don't care who we sell to. I'll take $1 from anybody.
That's true.
No shame in my game for wringing out everybody's money into my pockets.
Now that Embiid is so much cheaper than Jokic. I mean, $1,500.
Wild.
What, the price difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's $1,500 cheaper. He's sub 10K right now on like FanDuel. Jokic is 12.4, Embiid is 10.9. That's also still a $1,500 difference. And just to put this in context for everybody, looking at the rest of the slate, FanDuel, Durant is more expensive than Embiid. He's 11.2. Tatum is 10.6. Booker is 10.5. So then you go over to DraftKings and you look at pricing, a lot of way more high price guys than yesterday. Well, significant ones. Jokic 11.2, Booker 10.1, Durant 10,000, Embiid 97, Tatum 96.
It's interesting. I assumed that I would just get a boatload of Joel Embiid at 9,700, particularly when you start trying to compare him to Nikola Jokic. I've got Jokic projected significantly ahead of Joel Embiid in this spot for today. So much so that I am pretty well under the field on Embiid. Now, I will say my sim odds for Embiid match his ownership. I got him at 33%. He's 34% owned. But I am getting to Jokic in a bigger way than Embiid. I'm having trouble. Like, you kind of just have to pick between the two. In theory, you can make lineups that have Jokic and Embiid, and that is a combination that will exist. But because they're both center only, you kind of have to pick between the two. And for me right now, I think the gap in projection is enough to offset the cheaper price tag. I'm preferring to go to Jokic plus a different non-center than I am going to Embiid, because your only real option if you go to Embiid is then like paying up for Booker at that point in time. Otherwise, you're doing the exact same thing. You're still paying down at a different price tag. So while I don't mind getting to Embiid, I am a little nervous about him too. Played at 46 minutes in the most recent game, call it 41. Gassed. He was absolutely exhausted. I gave him 38 minutes. Like, I think he's very live to play 40, but I also think that his gas tank is running pretty low, whereas I feel like Jokic is a much more likely scenario to play 40.
I agree with you on that.
And look good at the 40th minute.
For sure. We saw PJ Tucker in his ear, which is just awesome. But yeah, we saw PJ Tucker. You could tell that he could tell that Embiid was in some serious trouble there. Wouldn't you have loved, though, to have gotten wouldn't you have loved to have had audio on that? That would have been really cool.
Something, mother trucker, something, mother trucker is probably right around where it would have been.
If we had audio, yeah, it would have been awesome. I'm surprised that's not a GIF yet that people are using across Twitter and everything.
Yeah. But a lot of F-bombs, a lot of mother F-bombs.
Yeah, we saw how he responded to Paul Reed in game one. Chewed him up. Like, not nice either. That was not a friendly teammate thing. That's like, I'm going to kill you if you don't go out there and get a couple offensive boards. But yeah, Harden getting not a lot. Max, the weird thing about Max is you see a lot of these price points starting to, come down. We saw Joel Embiid come down. Harden's down in that 8K spot. Maxey has actually come down since game 3 since game 2. He's down to 6,200. You look at the production, he just isn't shooting well. And maybe that changes. He's missing a lot of pretty open looks, but maybe it changes. Maxey's just not the guy. And you know this as well as I do, that if he's not scoring, right, if he's not shooting well, he's not getting you there on peripherals. Sure, he had 8 rebounds last time. It's the only reason he got north of 30 fantasy points. He's not going to have the ball in his hands a lot as a playmaker, and he's not going to grab a lot of boards. So what do we do with him at 6,200? Not
much. I think there's a better other starter for Philly today in a big way, and that's going to be Tobias Harris. But for Maxey, this is another guy for Philly where I think he's properly owned. He came out, he's owned 25% of the time. He's been around 0.89 fantasy points per minute throughout the playoffs. I got him at 25% ownership as well. To me, that looks spot on. I gave him 38 minutes. I don't see a lot of wiggle room on Philly at this point, just because everything sort of seems set in stone. The guy that I want is Tobias Harris. And I think that I'm being pretty pessimistic with his projection, but small forward, power forward. So you get the MPE. He's only 5,500 now. He played 45 minutes in the most recent game. Obviously, we're in OT, but we'll call it 40. I didn't give him 40 minutes. He's 36% owned. That's the highest mark of anybody on Philly. I think he deserves it. I think he's the best play from Philadelphia today. It just takes so little to pay off 5,500. And when you have that small forward, power forward eligibility, it just allows you to fit in so much easier. So I love Tobias Harris today.
Yeah, it's never going to feel good. I can assure you of that.
No, I haven't projected for 0.79 fantasy points per minute in this game. I'm being as pessimistic as I can and still getting to him.
Look at the rotation last game, too. Just a lot of 41 in regulation for Embiid, 42, over 42 for Harden, 40 for Maxey, 40 for Harris. That's regulation.
Yeah.
The minutes are going to be there.
I went 38 for Harris. I don't think that's crazy in a 2-2 game, playing for the season. They cut Jalen McDaniels from the rotation in the most recent game. Those minutes got to go somewhere.
Melton had a brutal game.
Not great, yeah. Still got 25 minutes, though.
He did, yeah. He had a bad game, but he was out there. And defensively, he's not a guy that's going to hurt you. George Niang ended up playing 19 minutes. He was 3 for 6 from 3, so you'll take that, but nothing anywhere else. And then Paul Reed played 6 minutes, and they decided, okay, you know what? He's not going to – he only – for what it's worth, Joel Embiid played enough minutes to where Paul Reed still got all of the backup minutes. But I think if Paul Reed was playing a little bit, if Paul Reed was someone they had a little bit more confidence in, Joel Embiid doesn't play 41 in regulation.
Yeah, it seems like it's the end of Paul Reed, and they're just going to grind Joel into the dirt.
But he is still the backup center, is what I'm saying.
He is. He is the backup center. I'm still surprised that they haven't gone small in this series. It's weird to me that they haven't tried Tucker at the 5. I don't know what they're waiting, but I don't know why they wouldn't do that.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
What do you want to do with the rest of Philly? There's not really a lot to get into here.
No, Melton's fine at 4,600 if you want to bet on it working for him. Shooting guard, small forward helps. Tucker's 3,700. It's always a viable dice roll. He's 7% owned. He was 8% in my sim. Niang got the benefit of no Jalen McDaniels, so it seems like his minutes are pretty firm. Philly won, so I assume we don't see McDaniels here either. That said, I don't think that any of these guys look all that interesting. To me, you're concentrating on Harden, Embiid, Harris, and Maxey.
Let's talk about Boston then. Get into this one a little bit, baby. So the Boston Celtics. Oh, I almost forgot to mention this. Yo, MLB lineup generator's live.
It is. Softball isn't, though.
No. And Yosef said, if we open the donut shop, we should hire the professional softball players because we'll pay them more. MLB lineup generator is live. Yes, it is live. And it's less than $4.50 for your first week. You can do so much with this, man. You can do so much with this. It's actually very exciting because we've been waiting on this. Obviously, we wanted to have it out earlier, but it's just and you would know more about this than I do, Josh. You're not a back-end savant in the sense that a lot of these guys are, but you know more than I do. Getting the stacking right and all of that stuff and the correlation right was really something that was going to take a while, and now it's ready to go. You can build stacks out. You can build stacks, whether you want to do 5-2-1s, 4-4s, 5-3s, and then on FanDuel, all of those stacking options. Yeah. Dude, it's really, really sick. If you've loved the NBA lineup generator, I think this is going to be better. If you don't have either, you can do both of them less for the first week, under $9 for both of them, for basketball and for baseball. So every single day you've got the lineup generator for baseball and basketball, under $4.50 for each of them. It's less than $9 for the first week. But yeah, I'm excited that we have this out. It's going to make a huge difference. And especially there's something very cool about having it for baseball, where there might be certain teams you want to stack, and then you can say, all right, I want to stack these teams, kind of like we had for football. But you know what I mean? I want to stack. I want to do this.
If you liked it for football, you're going to love it for baseball.
Exactly. And it's just far more fine-tuned now, too.
Oh, yeah. It's a different product than it was, 6 months ago.
It's awesome, man. By the way, link is in the description. Link is in chat if you haven't checked that out yet. But there's just so much that you can do with this. For the first week, less than $4.50. And a lot of you, I know, you may not have time. You may not have, you simply like, you don't have time to build all these lineups, to build these stacks out. You may not have Fantasy Crunch or whatever. There's just absolutely nothing out there right now that you're going to find that makes this easier than it is. MLB lineup generator, less than $4.50 for your first week. And like I said, you want to bundle them, less than $9 for the NBA and MLB. We don't have a bundle right now. You'd have to click both links, but still, it's 50% off the first week on both of them. So check it out if you haven't done so yet. All right. Let's talk about, is the link that, let me just make sure the link's down there. Let me get it up. Jordan, do you have, you're the producer. Is there a link for it in the description? All right. Could have told me that. Let me get the link up. Let me get the link up and send it to you guys. Let me get the link up and throw it down there. All right.
Yeah.
Start with Boston. Tell me what you're doing with Boston.
So for Boston, much like Philly, and this is a series where we're kind of set in stone now. Like Boston in particular, they don't have anybody that they're going to unearth from a rotational standpoint. Not that I could tell, at least. I don't think we're going to suddenly see Sam Hauser or Peyton Pritchard. So what we're talking about is sort of the same rotation that we've had before. And we've got a lot of these mid 5K guys. We've got Jason Tatum at 9,600, small forward, power forward eligible. Happy to get to Tatum. I have about 30% right now. He is the second most owned pay up option for me behind Jokic, who we're obviously going to get to in a little bit. Tatum's been 1.3 fantasy points per minute. He's playing about 40 minutes every single night. To me, this is a great spot to get to Tatum and or Brown. I expect big things from Boston today, heading back home. I think they go up 3-2. I'm hoping that strategy is good for getting to Boston, and I'm getting to Tatum and I'm getting to Brown. Those two guys, to me, very easy to get to because of their positions and their price tags. Jaylen Brown down to 7,900 now. The highest owned guy for Boston is Marcus Smart, 41% owned, 5,200. Unfortunately, he's point guard only, which is really annoying. Like Derek White being point guard, shooting guard, and Smart being point guard only, and Brogdon being point guard only is just dumb. Like they should all be, all three of them, probably. Neither here nor there. I like the idea of getting to Smart. I think that ownership is fully warranted. You know, we're talking about somebody playing 32, 33 minutes at a minimum in a competitive day, could get a little bit more. And he did so in that most recent overtime game. And you know that Smart's not going to be afraid to shoot. Like that's a dude that will look for himself throughout the game. It's not always going to be the most fun thing to do, but I think Marcus Smart is pretty clearly the best guy that you can get to from Boston. I completely agree with the ownership. You're probably slotting Smart into any cash game that you get to. I got to skip Horford. I got to skip White. I got to skip Brogdon. We got to talk Robert Williams, who over the past 2 games has played 16 minutes and 14 minutes. I don't totally know why they're not going to him a little bit more. It hasn't been great, if I'm being honest, but he's 3,900 now. And we've got him projected for 12% ownership. They didn't win the most recent game. Is this a day where Robert Williams goes from 14 minutes back up to 20? Because if he's 3,900, that really matters, especially if he is unowned. I don't really know what I want to do with his minutes. Like for the last 5 games, it's 17, 20, 22, 16, 14. He's not out there a lot. But any little bit of increase to him at 3,900 becomes one of the most interesting GPP plays you can get if he's maintaining 12% ownership. He's the trickiest part of Boston today.
Yeah, well, he's been the trickiest part of Boston kind of all series, don't you think? Or really all postseason? Were you talking about Williams? Sorry, I was trying to find this link.
Yeah, you're good.
Were you talking about Williams?
Robert Williams, yes.
Yeah, Robert Williams. He's been tricky all postseason. You just have no idea. How many minutes did he play?
Well, he's down to 3,900 now. Now he's like properly tricky.
Last man off the bench last game played 14 minutes. Who knows what to make of that? What's his ownership? I see what you're saying though. Now it's like, okay, do I just have to play him at 3,900? I mean,
it doesn't take much increase in playing time. Like, he can pay off 3,900 in the stupid 14 minutes that he gets if it breaks correctly. But it doesn't take much for him to all of a sudden just be out there for 20 minutes. And it's like, oh, you got 20 minutes of Time Lord at 3,900. I mean, people were playing 35% of Isaiah Hartenstein yesterday for that same thing.
He had 17 minutes against Atlanta in game 6, had 21 fantasy points. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like going through it now. But yeah, is it likely? No, but he is what? He's north of a fantasy point per minute guy.
Yeah. Call it a fantasy point per minute.
And he's not getting a lot of it. What's his ownership at? 12%? 12% right now? I'm just looking at the comparable. I'm looking at the comps here. PJ Tucker's 3,700. PJ Tucker only played 26 minutes in regulation, and he needs every single minute he could get. I would rather bank on somebody, or I would rather roll the dice on a player who might get 20 minutes, but if he only gets 12 or 13 minutes, he can still give me 20. Not a guy who might get 25 and might get 30, but could still finish with 7.
13 minutes of Robert Williams is 26 minutes of PJ Tucker.
Yes. Yeah. PJ Tucker's like a half fantasy point per minute guy, right? So yeah. Exactly.
I think he's really, really interesting today. Like, if Boston won the most recent game and this was 3-1, I probably wouldn't have as much interest in Robert Williams, but they're going to wiggle something here, I would guess. Or maybe they just feel like they should have won the game and, like them's the breaks from game 4. But I think the path of Robert Williams playing a little bit more than the 14 minutes he saw on Sunday is so viable at 12% ownership right now. I'm very, very, very intrigued.
Well, when we get to this next game, we're going to have to talk about Jock Landale too, because he's a fantasy point per minute guy on the year, and he played 20 minutes again last game. So now you've seen Jock Landale play 22 and 21 minutes, in back-to-back games. No wild production, but pretty decent for a 2-game slate at close to the bare minimum.
I would certainly rather play Robert Williams at
12,
his ownership, than Jock Landale at 29.
12 to 29, yeah. But what I'm saying is, I do get why people are going to be going to Jock Landale today.
No doubt, and I am too. I won't undersell him. We'll get to it in a bit, but like, he's obviously also very viable for today.
Shout out to our sponsor, PrizePicks. Hey, I meant to look that up. The guy yesterday, right? The guy yesterday that had the $1 million drawing, or got picked to win $1 million. Yeah,
he had that awful card of all overs.
All overs in the Knicks game, not just all overs.
Yeah. I think his chance of winning $1 million is all over as well.
Should we see how he did real quick?
Sure. I assume PrizePicks posts it.
I
went 1-1 yesterday. Max Strus had an outlier day for all the scrubs that played him. And I mean scrubs that played him. You made the wrong decision if you played Strus, and you got rewarded with trash. I'm dead serious. It's not even close. He's the worst play on the slate by a mile yesterday, and everybody got rewarded for it.
All right. So he hit Bam. Jimmy Butler points plus rebounds. He had over 34.5. Jimmy had 33, so he didn't hit there. Randall rebounds over 9 was a push. You feel like if this won, there would have. He had Josh Hart. Josh Hart over PRA, loss. Brunson over rebounds, push. Gabe Vincent over 4 assists. He had 5. So he won 2, pushed 2, and lost 1.
Okay.
That ain't gonna get it done.
People don't seem to be taking to my Strus comments very kindly, so I'm going to hit them with actual facts instead of everything else that everybody thinks. Of the 150 maxers yesterday, okay, they played Max Strus 16% of the time. Everyone that did not max enter the main contest on DraftKings yesterday played Max Strus 36% of the time. A 20% gap between the smarts and the people that did not max enter that contest. Max Strus was the clear worst play on yesterday's slate, and everybody got rewarded. Don't pat yourself on the back because it worked out, folks. Process, not results.
What did he finish with?
He was like the most important play of the day besides Steph. He was, let's see, he had 31.5. He went 6.8x shooting guard, small forward. He was a linchpin.
Wow. Well, hey, PrizePicks, like I said, they got the $1 million entry every day. Every day during the playoffs, someone is receiving an additional 6-pick flex play entry to win $1 million. 6 out of 6, you get $1 million. Just don't go all overs on a Knicks Miami Heat game.
No, that's not going to get you where you need to be.
Generally, if you're on all overs, it's a bad thing because a lot of these, especially these pick'em sites, and they shade things to the over anyway. You know that. Like, people like to bet overs. They don't like betting unders. So a lot of times you see things shaded to the over when the true odds aren't what you're seeing or even close. 5 of 6, 80,000, 4 of 6 is still 16,000. All you got to do to opt in is get a 6-pick flex play in each day during the playoffs. I think it's like $5 minimum, but that's not even the big thing because look, chances are you're not going to get selected to win $1 million. You might, but you do get a first match deposit bonus up to $100, which is big. So if you put 100 in, you're getting another 100, you get 200. You put even 20 in, you got 40. And I don't want to bury the lead here, Josh. Free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. Everything on the site. $120 value. That includes, by the way, the NBA lineup generator. It includes the MLB lineup generator. It includes the PGA lineup generator. It includes the top stacks tools, the top pitcher tool, top hitters tool, all of our ownership projections, boom bust projections. I could go through this for days because there's so much stuff, but I'm not going to overwhelm you. You can check it out for yourself. And if you go, hey, I'm trying to wade into the waters of sports that I might not know about, and that's why I don't play them, but now I have the tools. You could go MMA, you could go NASCAR, PGA, our own Awesemo. Alex Baker just hit a nice little 11,000 on NASCAR on Sunday. PGA, NASCAR, UFC, shit, we got F1, MLB, NBA, everything. Like, if there's contests out there, we got the content for it. We have all the tools that you need. $120 value on PrizePicks. Everything is free when you sign up and deposit for the first time on PrizePicks. You're getting the deposit match bonus there. And who knows, maybe you wake up one morning, you throw a lineup in, and you get notified that you have been selected. Given a free.
Can you imagine? What a sweat.
Dude, that'd be the coolest thing ever. And you know what? If I hit 4 of 6, I'd still be pretty stoked about it. It would be the worst if you went 3 of 6 and then lost one to the hook or something like that. You know?
Imagine. Oh my God.
Brutal. But check it out. Link is in the description and in chat. It's the best promo we have going right now, hands down, partnering with PrizePicks to give out a free month of everything we have and their 100% deposit bonus. And as you guys know, if it's not available in your state, because, you know, it's in, generally speaking, non-legal betting states, there's like 1 or 2 legal betting states that have it. But if it's in a non-legal betting state and you're standing there bashing your head against the wall because nothing good ever happens to you and you can't even get a 3-month of Stokastic because PrizePicks isn't in your state, BetMGM probably is, and all you have to do there is sign up, put $10 in, and make a bet. You're getting the free month. Again, everything, we do this because we expect you guys to win. We expect you to hang around. We think you will. Join our Discord, use the tools, hang out with Steve. He'll help you out. He's got his office hours. And on BetMGM, first bet is insured up to $1,000, which means anything that you lose up to $1,000 on your first bet, you get it all back in bonus bets. So multiple avenues to get a free month. Come join the family over at Stokastic. Take advantage of all the tools. And if you hate it at the end, you wash your hands clean. You say, all right, whatever. I still got PrizePicks. I still got BetMGM. You must be 21 years older to gamble, too. If you were someone who has a gambling problem, go ahead and call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Is your video up yet for PrizePicks?
No, after this show.
All right, cool. Perfect. Let's get that in the description, too, please. All right. Yeah, it's up and we're good to go. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate that. So let's talk about it. The Phoenix Suns. Are you at all surprised here that they're not bigger dogs? This isn't a leading question or anything. I'm just curious. Like, I was a little bit surprised. I really thought this would be more of like a Celtics home game against Sixers type line.
5.5 seems about right. I don't like. I think it's a testament to it's a testament to how good Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are, and the fact that they're going to play 95% of the game. Like, you could really it's really hard to get the separation if those guys can just be out there.
I agree. But I also wonder, as the series goes on, as the playoffs move forward, do we start to see them struggle? Not struggle. I shouldn't say struggle. We know that these are, peak athletes, but diminishing returns here. 40 plus minutes, 35 plus usage every game.
I don't know. It's a really unique, because we're talking about two of the most elite shot makers in basketball. I don't know. Like, we don't really see this level of two high-end offensive players like this. People are in better shape than they've ever been before. I know this 43, 44 minutes a game thing, doesn't look great on the surface, but I'm in no position to, in theory, bet against Devin Booker or Kevin Durant from continuing to do this.
Me neither.
They look great. That's it. I'm not going to be getting to all that much Kevin Durant today, but that's a different question and a different conversation point. But I believe in Phoenix right now, because these guys just don't miss, and I don't really know how you take it away from them.
Me neither. I still think Denver wins this game at home. I don't think they lose 3 straight, but those two top guys, they're doing everything right now. RBC Brian said, "Damn, I need that video, Josh. It's Taco Tuesday." I forgot it's Taco Tuesday as well.
I'll have, when I do the video, I've been doing 2 picks for each 2 gamer, but assuming that there's a taco out when I record the video, it'll be 2 plus the taco. So we'll have
so you're getting
a 3 picker for today.
And their tacos are easy. Like, you have to bet them. They're plus EV every time. Even if you go, I don't know about this. No, it's plus. Like, you have to bet those every time. You have to take them.
Yep. You do.
Man, were you going to say something?
No, I'm just agreeing about taking the taco.
We all like to take in a good taco from time to time. DeAndre Ayton, 31% ownership today. He's down to 5,600. So I understand the price point is down. All of that makes sense. But I've got to tell you right now, and this is not something that's surprising me all that much. You don't even have Chris Paul to dish out assists to DeAndre Ayton right now. Chris Paul is a primary playmaker, secondary shooter. Devin Booker, not so much. Now you've got DeAndre Ayton playing 26 and 27 minutes over the last 2 games. I wanted to actually, and you may have this, you may get to it before I do. I want to pull up usage in the 2 games since Chris Paul has been out and just see what it looks like now that we've got a little bit of a larger sample on this Suns team. I think it'll be not enlightening, because I think we have a pretty good idea of where it's going, but it's going to be interesting.
This DeAndre Ayton stuff is wild, man.
All right, here you go.
It's so wild.
Here are your usage rates, Josh, across 2 games without Chris Paul.
30-something, teens.
Yep. 34 for Durant, 34.4, 31 for Booker. Torrey Craig doesn't count. He's next.
No.
He played 3 minutes. Terrence Ross has played 30 minutes. He's at 18. Cameron Payne is at 15.7. Josh Okogie is at 13%, which is startling in its own right.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, lowest on the entire team at 10.8% usage over those 2 games.
He's just not involved. I don't even have words. It's really bizarre. I'm really curious to see where, they're not going to do this because there's no fit, but there's a DeAndre Ayton Jordan Poole swap out there to get these 2 people that are on teams that hate each other, they hate their current players, just being like, hey, you take this, you take that. But
yeah,
that's obviously not a trade that's going to happen.
Get him off our hands. We'll take him off your hands, basically.
Yeah. It's not going to happen. Neither team needs that, but it would be interesting. Yeah.
Devin Booker, though, this is what's remarkable. It's not just that he's scoring. He has 21 assists over the last 2 games without Chris Paul. You know what his usage rate is? His usage rate is 41%. Yeah.
He's doing everything. He's taken a step up in tier. I'm going to hit you with this question. I don't know if you have an actual answer for me. Would you rather have Devin Booker or Jason Tatum? Because that has been Tatum very clearly to me till this moment, and it is starting to become a different answer.
I think I'd still rather have Tatum, but
I think so too. I think so too.
That type of player who can also, who is also electric, like who's also, is willing to jack up a lot of threes, but is very solid defensively, is just Jason Tatum is an all-around player from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Devin Booker's fantastic. He's so good, but I still think I'm pretty sure I would still take Jason Tatum. It's getting closer, but I would still take Jason Tatum.
It's a different question in the playoffs when you got to go out there and you got to create your own shot over and over again. And we've seen so many times Jason Tatum go out there and like not do that.
No doubt.
And you can't really say that about Booker.
The entire first half of game 4, Jason Tatum did that. And then he lit it up in the second half, but yeah.
It's interesting.
Brian asked, Booker can't keep making shots like that, right? It's actually, well, the thing is, it's a fair question because like naturally you go, I'm not sure that he can, but he's just been.
I'm not telling him he can't.
I'm not telling him he can't either, but I understand why someone would ask that question.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
But yeah,
I mean, he's shooting 64% from the field against Denver. 57% from 3. He's 12 of 21 from 3. He's 26 of 51 from 3 in the playoffs this year. He's shooting 50% from 3.
To think that in game 1 he only attempted 1 3-pointer.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really shoot a lot of threes.
He doesn't. No, but he needs to.
Listen, I mean, maybe
he's a 37% 3-point shooter. It's not like he's a Matisse Thybulle 30% 3-point shooter. He's 37%. That's fine. That's fine. When you're as good as he is in the mid-range, that is perfectly fine. You get up 5 or 6 3-pointers, 6, 7, 8 a game, in the playoffs when you need to.
He's so good right now. It's bonkers.
The last 2 games, he's shooting almost 80%. And
he's just not missing.
Let's put some context to this too. He's shooting almost 80% on 43 field goal attempts.
He's getting it up, man. It's good to see.
This isn't Rui Hachimura going 2 for 3 and shooting, 4 for 5.
He's no joke. He's no joke.
So are these guys deprioritized then compared to Jokic and some of these? That's really where that's what the question's got to be here. We can gush over him all day long.
Yeah.
But what do we get to here?
So I'm not getting to much Durant. He's 30% owned. He came out of my sim 20%. I only have 9. I think if you're looking at this right now, in my mind, it's easier to get to Jason Tatum at 9,600 than it is to get to Kevin Durant today. Durant on the road, going to elevation in Denver, more expensive than Tatum. Tatum home, coming off the loss. To me, it just seems a lot easier to want to roster Jason Tatum over Kevin Durant. Booker, on the other hand, $100 more expensive than Durant, but you're getting point guard, shooting guard eligibility. The shooting guard spot is tough to fill. There's just not a ton of shooting guard options for today. And because of that, I think getting to Devin Booker is a much easier proposition than getting to Kevin Durant. I'm not telling anybody to not play Kevin Durant, obviously, but like Booker's at 10-1. You get Jaylen Brown $2,200 cheaper. Then you're in the Maxey, Derek White group. Then it's Melton, KCP, Landry Shamet. Like Terrence Ross is getting 20% ownership because he can play shooting guard. He's 3,100 and he might play like 14 minutes. This is a very difficult position to fill today. I think it's much easier to want to get to Devin Booker.
The rest of this team, then it's kind of scattered. You saw Jock Landale play 20 plus minutes in back-to-back games. Who knows what's going on with DeAndre Ayton right now? Landry Shamet last game. I mean, that came out of nowhere. TJ Warren played big minutes in game 3 and then came this tough. It's not surprising to me. And when I say it's not surprising, I don't mean I was projecting TJ Warren to play only 18 minutes, but they're trying to figure out what works here. And, Josh Okogie got a little bit more playing time than he did in game 3. How are you projecting minutes for these guys right now?
I went 21 to Warren. He closed this most recent game, played 26 the game before that. I think 21 feels about right. I'm well north of the 20% ownership that we're projecting, so I'm very happy to get to Warren. There's a path for Landry Shamet, 3,600, just shooting guard eligible. Depending on how the first game breaks, and I posted this in our Discord Sunday after the first game, that Landry Shamet was a much better play than he was when the slate first started because of the things that busted at shooting guard in the Philly-Boston game on Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon, whatever. Shamet increased his optimal odds just because of his positionality by like 10 to 15%. So if you're a member of our site, you would have seen that in our Discord and hopefully got to a little bit more Shamet. That said, I don't think that he's as interesting as TJ Warren today because of the price, because of the MPE, and you obviously just don't expect Shamet to make every three that he takes. Okogie, I think they're really just playing him in the beginning of the first quarter, beginning of the third quarter. Maybe he sees an additional rotation somewhere just getting tossed in. It doesn't appear that they want to close with him. I went 16 minutes. I think he's an okay option. The Terrence Ross ownership at 20% is strictly based on price and position. I went 16 minutes. I didn't get anywhere near 20% ownership. I get why you want to go there for value, but 20% is too much. It's the Landale ownership that we need to talk about because to me, it's real, but it's not real. He's 29% owned. That number is too high. I went 18 minutes to Landale, 30 to DeAndre Ayton. I don't really think that you can be more aggressive than that. Ayton played 10 and a half minutes to start his first quarter rotation. He played 4:30 in the second quarter, committed 2 fouls, picked up his second and third foul, and then didn't close out that quarter, lost another 2 minutes. So at that point, you would be putting in DeAndre Ayton for 10 and a half minutes plus another 6.5. We're calling it 17 in the first half. DeAndre Ayton was on pace to play a shit ton. He then started the third quarter, played another 7 minutes and 20 seconds, picked up another foul, so we got to 4. Ended up coming in, closing the final 5 minutes. Things were going pretty well when they went to Landale at the end of at the beginning of the fourth quarter. That's when they went on their run and really made the game be a little bit more out of reach. So you got 28-20 out of Ayton and Landale. It took a little bit of foul trouble to get that. I think 30-18 is really the only way that you can project this. If you wanted to go more to Ayton, I think that's correct. I don't think that you can give Jock Landale more than 18 minutes. I think that's incorrect.
You're probably right. I'm not sure that those 2 games are indicative of what we're looking at in the future. Although 18 minutes for Jock Landale is probably enough at that price point.
He showed up in the optimal lineup 15% of the time for me at 18 minutes. I think that's very viable. I think getting around 20% of Jock Landale makes sense. I think he's getting bumped a little bit too much because of the way that the minutes came in.
Wrap this one up with the Nuggets.
Might as well. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say here. Campaign's 25% owned. I don't totally understand that either. I will not have that much campaign.
All right. Hold on. I got to mute these chalkboard notifications popped up for me. It's getting busy in there. 1,875 members. Let's go. We got to hit 2,000 soon. If you guys aren't in there yet, our Chalkboard app is totally free. We've got an awesome community in there that we're building. It's a lot of fun. All the picks are free. Everything's free. The group, actually a great group too. I was surprised by that. I was just expecting it to get infiltrated. Other than the people that come in there and they're like, hey, I'm a credit bookie looking for some business. Hit me with a DM. There's some sneaky people in there that swoop in and try and rob you. But if you have a few brain cells that are still functioning, you can spot that trash from a little while away.
Sorry, YouTube chat. You're not going to be able to spot it.
Why are you laughing, Jordan? I'm serious. Like, you should know when someone's trying to scam you. If you were born what do you think? I'm dead serious. By the way, guys, link is in the description. Join it. The Chalkboard is 100% free. And it's always going to be free. The app's awesome. It's like Discord, but better for betting because you can sync your sports books. All the box scores are in there. It's really a fun time. We're throwing picks in there all the time, sweating them together, sweating the games together, watch it. It's awesome. So come join us if you haven't done so yet. What year do you think is fair to say that if you get scammed, it's entirely your fault? Now you're going to be like, oh, 1940, but it's not true.
Always.
No, it's not true. Internet scams for older people, I have real sympathy for them. I actually do. I have a lot of sympathy for phone calls to senior citizens
Oh yeah, that's that. We're not talking about the same thing. Man.
Well, hold on. Where now you can spoof numbers. Like they called for my wife once. It was from like San Antonio, Texas or something. Say it was from the IRS. I'm like, trust me, the IRS doesn't call you. They let you figure shit out on your own, then they hit you with thousands of dollars in fines when they tell you that you did it wrong. They won't call you. They'll send you mail.
Yeah. They also don't care about us.
Right. Well, what I'm saying though is there's a cutoff. There's a cutoff for older people who can get scammed. Have you ever seen like older people Facebook? Oh my God, dude. It's just conspiracy theories on both sides of the spectrum, left and right. It's like they're coming for you. Shut it all down. They're coming for you. They'll be here tomorrow. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's nuts.
I mean, dude, the owner and proprietor of the pizza place that I worked at throughout high school and the beginning of college built 2 old people out of like 300 grand and went to jail.
Yeah. But on the internet, I was born in 87. I grew up pretty much with the internet. I grew up with the internet. If you're not aware of that type of stuff, then there's no hope for you.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, like, I'm not surprised when it happens. Yeah. Most people don't understand things that are too good to be true.
Send me 17 ETH and I'll send you 34 back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That seems to make a lot of sense.
I mean, the amount of people that probably got smacked with that, like Nigerian check scam from emails in 1997 is probably staggering.
The Prince. Crazy.
It's insane. So yeah, I have no sympathy for any of those people.
I do for the older ones.
No, old people getting scammed and for that sort of shit where you like call it those people, there's a special place in hell for the people that are going to do that. But if you're the person sending in a message like, hey, I got the winners, if you want to DM me $50 to my PayPal, you should lose your $50 every single time. I don't care what happens to you.
But the 80-year-old lady whose husband died and they're like, you owe back taxes. I don't. Those people are giant pieces of shit. Yeah, I'm with you there. No, I don't want to take advantage of old people. And I'll go as far to say that a lot of people doing that type of scam work are in, awful living conditions themselves. Like there is a part of me that goes, these people don't have any money. They're living in squalor. I get that, but stealing from old people just makes you a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah, I'm with. If you're not old, I don't mind who gets scammed. That's on you.
Jordan Klein said, young kids get scammed too. The game just changes. Kids get scammed out of Fortnite coins and video game currency. I believe it.
Yeah. I blame the kids.
In that case, I kind of blame the parents for not raising them to be, somewhat cognizant of what's going on around them.
Yeah.
That's on the parents.
And the kids.
Tell your kid, you're not a,
and the kids.
You're not a fucking sucker.
Right.
My kid got scammed out of Fortnite coins. It's in the basement we go.
Bad day for Jordan, huh?
She would never, man. I hope. She comes home and said, Dad, someone scammed me out of Fortnite. Hopefully she's not playing Fortnite, but I got
scammed. Why do you say that?
What?
Why do you say that?
I want her throwing 85. I want her throwing heaters.
She gets scammed out of Fortnite. She's going back to Cuba.
Oh, yeah. We were watching the Phillies and Astros the other day, and I was like, look, it's Jordan Alvarez. All right. What else do we... John said, John, don't stop making excuses, John. I don't want to hear that shit. That's why I said it's on the parents. I don't want to hear that.
Kids don't have developed prefrontal. Yeah, those kids. Mine was fully developed when I was a kid.
Yeah, they might not be developed when they're 30 either.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah.
That's not mine was I think I was like even like 130% developed or something.
Right, exactly. These kids are lobotomized at like 8.
I think I have 2 prefrontal cortexes. I'm that smart. They told me I had to go and get scans when I was a kid. They told me like, yo, you got an extra cortex, man.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, your son has an extra cortex.
Did they remove it?
It's prefrontal and postfrontal. He's got them both.
Well, wait, what about then what about just the frontal?
I didn't have the frontal. I had pre
you just had the pre and the post frontal.
Yeah. That's when you know you got the good stuff.
I wonder what happened. Something got lost in transition.
There is something about like fission or fusion, the frontal split to pre and post.
I think the post is what helps you acquire a real sense of tact and understanding for your common man.
Yeah, it definitely makes me more sympathetic to others.
I think so. Yes, and you're empathetic too. You feel for others.
Sometimes I have to wipe it off. Empathy just oozes from my pores.
You lay in bed something is fucking post-frontal cortex.
It's a blessing and a curse, man. It's a blessing and a curse.
Denver Nuggets. You already talked about Nikola Jokic getting to a lot of him. That really is something else to see that he has a 50% optimal score today, 10.7% leverage. You don't see that when you at 11-2 when you've got Booker, Durant, Embiid, Tatum, Harden, all of these other high-priced guys. It says a lot about Jokic today and in general that even at that price, he really is one of the best plays on the entire slate.
Yeah, like, do I think that our optimal odds are a little high on Jokic? Yeah. He came out of mine at 39%. Like, we're not outside the realm of possibility here. You know, you want to split the difference and call it 45 or something. Like, that's a massive number for a dude that's 11,200 today. There was a point in time where, like, you would have just immediately wanted to pivot to Joel Embiid, and maybe that's the right thing to do. But I have Jokic so highly projected in this matchup just because he's hitting every category. We're talking about massive points, massive rebounds, massive assists. I mean, we're talking about being projected for essentially a triple-double. What are his triple-double odds for today? That exists, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Nikola Jokic's triple-double odds are usually juiced to the over heavily. Well, not heavily, but like minus 110. There was a point it was like minus 150 this year for him to triple-double. All right, you ready? I got it right here.
Hit me.
So
I bet it's close to 50-50.
Yeah, well, it's plus 135 today.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
crazy.
What's his assist prop? Let me see if I can get to that quick. 9.5 shaded to the under. Like, that to me looks perfect. You look at his rebound prop for today.
13.5 minus 125 on the over.
I got 13.9. Like, we're talking about a massive, massive day. And I think we have enough value to make it like pseudo easy to get to him, because the way that I'm looking at it right now, you've got Terrence Ross pulling 20% ownership. I don't love that number, but at 3,100, we've got a rotation piece. Josh Okogie, in theory, could be that guy, 10% owned. Jeff Green is getting 10% ownership at 3,200. TJ Warren, I think, is under-owned at 20%. He's 3,300. Jock Landale at 3,400. Little bit of a tougher sell because then you're just locking in your two center positions, but still. Shaman at 3,600, PJ Tucker, Grant Williams, if you want to get weird. There are enough ways to pay down today that it doesn't become all that problematic to get to Jokic. That's why we're seeing it. That's why it's easier to get to him at 11-2, because if he were 10-7 or something, you would be getting him in like 60% of your lineup. So I'm more than okay getting to Jokic. I'm getting to all things Denver. Their main 6 guys are making up the bulk of my exposure. I think Denver is pretty clearly the best team you could roster today.
I don't remember the last time I saw Jokic point prop over 30 either.
No, and it should be.
I mean, it's always, mid to high 20s, but 30.5. His PRA is 53.5.
I have it at 54.1. So like, I have no disagreements out of me. It's so good. It's so good. You got like, you want to go there, but you want to go to everybody. I mean, here's the ownership for the 6 main guys for Denver: 44, 39, 25, 37, 38, 35. And I'm getting all of these guys. I'm over on Murray, Jokic, Gordon, KCP, Porter, and Brown. All of those guys, I'm in either a little bit more or a lot of bit more than the field. In particular, Jamal Murray, best play on today's slate at 8,100.
We'll wrap it up with what we always do. Favorite value play, favorite high-end play, favorite leverage, and biggest fade relative to the field. And for those of you guys that joined in late, MLB lineup generator is live. We got the links up. Jordan, throw them in the description one more time, or in the chat. They're in the description. It's live for the first time. You can set your stacks. There's a million different things that you can do with this. It's going to be awesome. Less than $450 for your first week. And if you wanted to get NBA and MLB, it's less than $9 for your first week. NBA lineup generator and MLB. But if you're looking to get into MLB, I know a lot of you guys are playing MLB. Like you'll be on the you'll be watching the strategy show coming up a little bit later. I think noon. You'll be watching that. You're getting into that. No better option if you're trying to not only save time, but just build plus EV lineups with the click of a button, export them to CSV, build as many as you want, keep the ones you like, discard the ones you don't. It's optimized for mobile as well. So less than $4.50 for your first week. MLB lineup generator is now live. That link is in chat in the description. All right. Favorite high-end, low-end value, or high-end, low-end fade and leverage spot.
Favorite value is going to be TJ Warren. I would be shocked if that changes for me. Favorite pay up option is going to be Jokic, unless you consider Jamal Murray to be the a pay up option at 8,100. Jamal Murray is my overall favorite play on the slate. He's in 72% of my lineups right now. My biggest fade as of right now is Cam Payne. If you want to say Durant, you can. I think Cam Payne is a little bit easier to say in this case. And then my biggest leverage play is Time Lord, Robert Williams, 3,900.
All right. Appreciate you guys as always. Hit that thumbs up before you go. Subscribe to the channel. Follow Josh at Josh Engleman. Me at Laffy_D. Shout out to Jordan Klein for producing this one. We will see you back here tomorrow on the NBA. We got 2 games tomorrow. I hope we do.
We got 2 games tomorrow and Thursday.
John P. John P's always trying to grind my gears, dude. I like you, John. I know I see what you're trying to do.
I can do without him.
What's that?
I can do without him.
2 games on Wednesday, 2 games on Thursday. Okay. And these are already guaranteed. These aren't even if needed or if necessary.
Yeah, we're here Wednesday, Thursday. That's for sure.
It's also very possible that we don't have games on Friday.
Is it?
Well, yeah. I mean, Heat, Knicks, Warriors, Lakers. I don't think it's hard to fathom the Heat winning again and the Lakers winning again. The Lakers are at home. No,
they're not.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, they'd be at home for the game 6. You're right. You're right. But I still wouldn't be shocked to see them win. They look like the better team right now.
I would say the most likely scenario is we get 1 game on Friday.
Lakers,
which is great for me because I got shit going on. And if I could just skip a 1 gamer or have no games, that'd be great.
See you guys back here tomorrow and tonight. Peace.